Also irgendwie hat Blizzard, ich weiß nicht, die denken, es ist 2018, glaube ich. Blizzard bringt anscheinend ein neues Game raus oder irgendwie sowas. Wir gucken mal rein. Das ist der Cast davon. Mir wurde gesagt, Sieglinde, Sieglinde, du musst das unbedingt anschauen. Es gab nämlich eine Piratenflagge auf der Roadmap für 2024. Ja. Und deswegen gucken wir mal rein.
Hey everyone, welcome to Wowcast. We have a very exciting topic today, and with me I have two special guests.
Hi, I'm Orlando Salvatore. I'm a lead software engineer on
Ist das
WoW.
zu laut? Ich hoffe nicht.
Hi, Bethany. Happy to be here. I'm Jeremy Fiesel. I'm Associate Game Director on WoW.
So, what is that black flag on the
Da ist die
roadmap
Piraten.
for 2024?
So, when we were thinking about what we wanted to deliver to the players in 2024, what we ended up landing on was that we wanted to do something a little bit different
Warte mal, gab es nicht sowieso so viele Theorien, dass ein Piraten-Add-on kommt? Da gab es auch super viele Theorien von, oder?
than the things that we did previously in Dragonflight. So that's what we're here to talk about today. It's a brand new event, and we're calling it Plunderstorm.
Plunderstorm.
It is a pirate-themed, battle royale-inspired event that takes place entirely within World of Warcraft.
Okay, okay. Es ist kein Battle Royale Game. Es ist ein Modus in WoW. Alles klar.
And is available for all active WoW subscribers. All that said, what do we feel like is like the three sentences that encapsulates the coolest?
Warte mal, er hat gerade gesagt, es ist für alle WoW-Abonnenten verfügbar. Bedeutet das, auch wenn du keinen Dragonflight hast, kannst du das Ding spielen?
subscribers? All that said, what do we feel like is like the three sentences that encapsulates the coolest parts about it?
So, Thunderstorm is World of Warcraft's take on a battle royale. It's an action-oriented game that lets you customize your build,
Sehr cool.
basically your class, every single match. You'll be
Rune.
able to start collecting abilities through chests and by killing monsters, even killing other players, all while trying to avoid a collapsing storm that is pushing players together.
Es klingt auf jeden Fall schon mal
Whoever
cool.
is the last team standing ends up winning. And you don't need to go through a quest line, you don't need to go through any previous content to be able to access this. This is immediately accessible for anybody who's an active WoW player.
Warte mal, also es ist im Endeffekt in WoW drinne, aber es ist schon ein eigenes Game. Ein eigener Spielmodus. Sehe ich das richtig? Also jeder kann es einfach spielen, du musst nichts freischalten und
We expect even the most casual player to be getting tons of plunder and tons of rewards every day. You might even say that the first minute or two are really a little bit more on the PvE side of things, where you're out fighting monsters, you're collecting a new set of abilities, and there isn't a huge amount of PvP combat until later on in the match. And I think it's important that that's like the core of the game is that plundering, getting out and collecting chests and collecting items. You don't have to be the last person standing on the map in order to get a whole bunch of rewards. Even just by dropping into the map and completing your starter quest, that gives you a bunch of rewards just for doing the usual things you would do for the first couple of minutes.
Runen, Mobs und Playertönen klingen das STV und dann SOD ein bisschen, ja. Und woran mich das erinnert, sie haben ja gesagt, es kommen hier, du musst verschiedene Mobs töten und Runen und Fähigkeiten freischalten mit den Mobs töten. Das Ding erinnert mich an das Battle Ride Royale. Anderes Game gewesen.
So no matter what, you should exit that map with a bunch of plunder, even if you're not the last person standing. So as we were thinking about what the best framework
XP.
for this would be, it just came to us that, hey, it should actually be an event that feels like it's a little bit outside of the main system. So we talked and we riffed about, hey, what would be the best theme for an event like that? We landed on pirates.
Who loves
Piraten.
who loves pirates?
Because who doesn't love pirates? It's a
I love
fun
pirates.
theme, but also there's all these different pirate crews around Azeroth, and you've got to ask yourself the question, if you're not the hero of Azeroth, what are you doing on a day-to-day basis?
That's a great question.
So we're gonna actually track some of our civilian NPC friends and play as those characters as one of the pirate crews within Azeroth that isn't
Oh,
the
warte
hero
mal.
of Azeroth. All of that came together.
Habe ich das richtig verstanden? Du spielst nicht mit deinem,
We're gonna actually
du spielst nicht mit deinem Main Character in WoW, du spielst mit einem NPC Character. Also das ist auf jeden Fall nicht irgendwie mit WoW verbunden, oder so.
track some of our civilian NPC friends and play as those characters as one of the pirate crews within Azeroth that isn't the hero of Azeroth. All of that came together to give us this theme of Kegleg's crew and the pirate crew, plundering these relics that are being transported across the Highlands.
What will players see when they jump into this new event?
When players enter this new event, they're going to notice that a lot of their core things that they're used to in World of Warcraft are different. When they get into the main menu, they'll have a
Main
brand new
menu?
option available to them, which is the Plunderstorm button. They click on that,
Okay, also das Ding ist ziemlich ernst gemeint. Das ist normales WoW und hier hast du WoW Plunderstorm. Und dann kannst du dir hier den Piraten aussuchen. Und du spielst nicht deinen Charakter. Also es ist nicht verbunden mit WoW, aber es ist doch verbunden mit WoW.
That takes them to a separate menu, which shows their character and their friends list, and they'll be able to invite players to their party all through the main menu. Normally, you need to go into the game to invite another player into your party, but through Plunderstorm, you're actually inviting them through the main menu. Once you're partied up, or if you want to
Sehr
go in
interessant.
solo,
Ein
queue
Hühnchen.
up, load into a match. When you load into a match, you'll notice that you're invited into a pregame lobby area where you're able to try out new abilities and try out different mechanics that exist within Plunderstorm.
Release am 1.4. und dann April-Scherz. Nee, Release war 10.2. Hier. 10.2.6.? Nee, warte mal. Das ist der Patch, oder? Da ist der Patch nicht das Datum. Richtig?
So one of the coolest things about designing Plunderstorm has been just
Das ist der
figuring
Patch,
out
okay.
where we can break the rules.
Wenn das ein April-Scherz ist, dann gute Nacht.
TLDR, when you're
Weil es
thinking about
klingt-
changing up things that dramatically, it no longer made a huge amount of sense for your main character.
Not
and
playing the main
everything
character.
associated with that character. All of your armor sets and all of your the weapons and everything that you've collected over the years and your battle pets and your 36 different abilities doesn't necessarily translate directly into this game mode. We wanted to start fresh and do crazy new abilities.
So, as Jeremy mentioned, there's going to be brand new abilities that normally you wouldn't see on classes or characters in there. Because when you're thinking about developing a warrior ability, you want it to feel very warrior-esque. Or you're developing a mage ability, you want it to feel mage-esque. Well, with this, you don't have a class. You're actually going to be building a brand new kit every single time you're going into a match. And your builds may vary match to match because it all depends on what drops for you in the match. Even things like auto attack doesn't work like how it works normally in WoW. It's going to be an active ability that you're constantly
Warte mal.
using to attack enemies.
Autotech ist eine aktive Fähigkeit, die du immer wieder drücken musst. Also das wird ja komplett anderes Gameplay sein. Und jetzt, wir sehen hier das Interface, ja? Das Interface ist auch komplett anders. Du hast einfach so 4, 5 Fähigkeiten. Ein bisschen League of Legends-Style. Ne? Wird auf jeden Fall spannend werden.
One thing that's just baked into your experience is that you're going to have a health pot that's always persistent. And we've
Immer wieder ein
slowed down
Health
the
pot.
UI compared to what World of Warcraft normally is. You may be used to the 12 buttons on your main action bar, and then you have a bunch of other action bars.
Yes.
You can
Ja, ist kein
enable.
Autotech, der
this
mehr,
actually
ne?
only has 7
Ah, jetzt
total
sie reden
buttons
sie
that you
drüber,
can
okay.
press on an action bar. When you loot an item, it doesn't go to your bag. You don't have a separate frame that you're opening. Everything gets put directly onto your action bars, and then from there, that's also your spells. So you're able to cast spells, drop abilities, pick up abilities, all to one singular action
Okay,
bar. without
also
needing
sehr,
to
sehr
do
downsized, ne?
So we've really
Muss man aber sagen, also wenn sie PvP und so attraktiver machen wollen in WoW, musst du das machen. Also das muss einfach werden und casual werden und Leute müssen es checken. Sehr schnell checken. Und da ist auf jeden Fall besser, wenn du nur 4 Fähigkeiten hast und keine 30.
streamlined and simplified the experience.
That whole thing, I think, ends up feeling just wildly different than the way World of Warcraft plays right now. And not only is it action-oriented combat, but you're grabbing your abilities from the ground and then putting them on your bar. You can swap the 4 different abilities as you find new and cool things, or that you find certain synergies that work really well together. And then there's different rarities to the abilities too, so you can get everything from uncommon,
das ist jetzt
rare,
hier-
all the way up to epic levels of these.
Das ist im Endeffekt dieser Fortnite-Style. Ja, verschiedene Dinger, es gibt epische Fähigkeiten und so weiter.
You get higher level abilities as you progress in the match, but you may also just get one really early in the match, get super lucked out, and you get epic fire whirl right at the very beginning, and then you can go and wreck some people.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things I think that makes it super replayable. Not only do you get a kit of abilities that are always going to feel different in every match, but also how the power curve changes is also going to feel pretty different every match too.
Yeah, you know, we've experimented around with a lot of different spells and abilities, things that normally we couldn't do in World of Warcraft, and that's intentional as well. We want to make sure that when we're coming up with these brand new abilities, that they feel fresh, they feel awesome to press. It's not just about the min-max, but sometimes it's about the impact, oh man, I'm using an ability and this is just the most awesome ability I've ever seen. That's the type of stuff we want to inspire players to kind of jump into the next match and find even more.
Motorrad.
And you can strategize. One of the reasons why I like playing duos is because it almost feels like you get twice as many abilities, and you can strategize. You're going to be the fire pirate, and I'm going to be the Arcanosphere pirate.
So do solo players and duo players play together?
So the way it works is we have all duos in a match and all solos.
Okay, Matchmaking ist getrennt. Ja, ihr habt Duo-Spieler und Solo-Spieler drin. Ne? Haben sie Quads? Also mit 4 Leuten? Das ist die große Frage, ne?
In a match. Duos, you can also, preform a party with a friend and be able to get into the match with them as well.
I think that it would end up being a little unfair to have solo players on the battlefield.
Ja, das
with
macht
duo
Sinn.
players,
Ja, das
and
ist
duo
logisch, was Sie gerade
players
sagen.
They're coordinating their spells and abilities. We made it really easy to use the ping system in game.
Ping
so
System?
that it's really easy
Ach so,
you
das
to
gibt's ja jetzt
communicate
schon, ne?
Even if you're not talking with your partner. So they would already have an advantage, and we wouldn't want to disadvantage our solo player like that. I think that Duos also has the revive mechanic too, which is super cool, especially if you're a player that dies first, like I tend to.
Me too, me
then
too. We
your
shouldn't be
partner
on the
can
same
come
team
and
then.
revive you. Absolutely
that
not.
wouldn't be
I'll
good.
be on Orlando's team.
So if your partner dies, you are able to revive them, but you're not reviving them the normal way you would revive a player in WoW. So you don't need to press any extra buttons or collect any spells or items that do this. This is actually just something that is kind of baked into the experience, that if you die, you'll have a ring around you, your partner can stand on you, and then you'll get revived and able to play the game again. Normally in World of Warcraft,
Okay, wenn ihr stirbt, muss euch der Kollege einfach auf euch raufstellen. Also ihr müsst nicht zu einem Wiederbelebungswagen gehen wie in Fortnite oder so,
when
anscheinend.
your character dies, you're looking at your character's corpse and seeing a release button on there. Well, with Plunderstorm, we knew that you wouldn't be able to release. So what are you going to be doing, looking at your corpse the whole time? Well, the engineers, got together and they decided, hey, let's add spectating mode to this.
geil.
So once you die, you can actually spectate your teammate until you're
Sehr
either
gut.
revived or, unfortunately, you're eliminated. And then once your team is eliminated, you can spectate anybody on the entire map. So
Okay,
we
spectate
wanted
mode,
to
finde ich
really
gut.
make sure that we're kind of introducing new things in WoW that normally wouldn't exist in, Dragonflight or in Classic or another variation of WoW, and make this pretty unique to Plunderstorm. There's other things that we kind of broke the rules on too, which was there's no fall damage.
Ah.
And everyone can double jump.
Everyone can double jump.
Double jump?
And
Just
people
things that
love
we
it.
thought were
Oh
fun.
mein Gott.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
and-
awesome.
Oh mein Gott. Jeder kann Double jumpen. Wisst ihr, was das bedeutet? Wisst ihr, was das bedeutet, Leute? Dass jeder Double jumpen kann? Ihr werdet niemals mehr normal WoW spielen können ohne Demon Hunter. Ihr werdet hier dauernd Double jumpen und dann normales WoW spielen wollen, habt ihr keinen Double Jump. Und es wird sich falsch anfühlen. Und alle werden Demon Hunter rerollen.
These are things that we can't do in World of Warcraft, and that's intentional because that's built around a very different experience. But here we said, well, we love WoW's combat, but we want to change up how you interact
Also wenn
with
das ein
it.
April-Scherz ist,
And we wanted
dann haben sie sich da
to
sehr
not
viel
only
Mühe für
make it
gegeben.
different for fighting other players, but also fighting monsters. All the monsters have a different type of abilities that they're going to be able to attack you with. These aren't your normal just auto attack abilities whenever a mob gets on you. These are going to be actually telegraphed abilities that you're going to see cast in front of the monster and be able to sidestep it.
Okay.
So there's actual mechanics tied to all of the monsters that are. in the match
der
as
sieht
well.
cool aus.
Like everything has become kind of more action-oriented combat, and that's one of the things we can accomplish when it's all encapsulated within an event.
On top of that, I think a really cool part of this mode is that there's multiple layers of how you play it. So there's not only the spell acquisition, which we talked about, but also you're leveling through this experience as well. You're getting more health, and you want to get that so that you hopefully by the end of the match have enough level under your belt.
Kannst
and
aber
enough
leveln wie in
items
League of
under your
Legends
belt that you
theoretisch,
can
ne?
Come out on top.
You guys don't have phones? Ich glaube, mit Scherzen ist Blizzard vorsichtig geworden, wahrscheinlich ja. Was ich mir aber immer jetzt denke bei sowas, warum erst jetzt? Also Fortnite hat es ja vorgemacht. Ja, Fortnite hat ja in ihrer eigenen Engine, diese Epic Engine, mit Fortnite super viele verschiedene geile Spielmodi entwickelt. Warum hat Blizzard das nicht schon früher gemacht? Also ich finde die Idee gut, ja, rede ich gleich nochmal drüber, ich finde es gut, aber warum erst jetzt? Ein Battle Royale in WoW, das hätte doch rauskommen müssen 2019, oder? Mit Fortnite-Hype. Sofort rauspumpen. Oder Teamfight Tactics. Warum gibt es kein kein Auto-Chess von WoW direkt? Na, Hearthstone ist ja ein eigenes Game, theoretisch. Right? Also Hearthstone ist ja ein eigenständiges Game. Ich meine zum Beispiel League of Legends und TFT. TFT basiert ja auf den Models und so weiter von League of Legends. Ne? Kein Entwickler-Know-how bei Blizzard. Ja, wahrscheinlich sind dem alle abgesprungen. Alle haben
I
sie
wanna know,
gequittet.
What rewards can I get from Plunderstorm? Because I'm a huge collector, and there's got to be something cool. It's plunder after all.
Oh yeah, no, we've got a ton of rewards, a ton of
Couple.
intentionally pirate-themed rewards coming your way in Plunderstorm. There's 40 renown levels that you can.
Das T-Shirt finde ich geil. Ich mag normalerweise nicht so gerne T-Shirts, die irgendwie von... Stimmt, Heroes of the Storm, ja. Und das Ding ist, ich mag normalerweise nicht so gerne T-Shirts von so Merchandise oder so Games oder so. Aber das erinnert mich so ein bisschen an so ein altes Metal-T-Shirt. Wisst ihr, wie ich meine? So ganz dezent mit dem Lich King, ein bisschen ausgeblasst, finde ich cool. das Teil.
get with Keg Legs Crew, which seems like a lot, but you're going to zip through them pretty quickly. We want this to feel super, super rewarding. So expect to get a renown level, you know, every 4 or 5 matches, at least a renown level a day for even your casual gamer.
Was wieder blöd ist, dass wir ein Abo brauchen, das zu spielen. Was ich mir denke dabei, rede ich gleich mal drüber. Auch zum Abo.
Every
Schreib's
renown
mal auf.
level that you level up
Was
has
ganz
a reward
Interessantes.
associated with it. Everything that you unlock in this mode is also going to unlock in your transmog set for all of your main World of Warcraft.
Okay, du kannst auch mit der Main Show was freischalten. Oh, Belohnung für Classic? Oh. Man bekommt ein Reittier für Classic WoW. Einen fliegenden Papageien.
Is there anything you're doing to make Plunderstorm fair for all players?
One of the things we started discussing early on
Ziemlich
was
cool.
whether or not we would support add-ons or
Add-ons.
try to put the majority of the information players were looking for in the game.
Bitte
world
keine
in the
Add-ons,
mode.
bitte nicht, bitte nicht.
Yeah, you know, World of Warcraft players are some of the smartest players in the world, and we're
Also, ich finde ja cool, dass sie einen neuen Game-Modus rausbringen, ne? Aber er muss mich jetzt nicht anlügen. Also, angelogen werden will ich nicht. Ja. Schmeichelhaft, aber
smartest players in the world, and we're super excited for our players to check this out. One thing that we knew, though, is that we wanted a level playing field.
Bitte
for
keine
players
Add-ons,
to
bitte
be
nicht.
able to play with. Third-party add-ons are awesome, and they're super cool to see, and what the community comes up with is amazing. But for this, we really wanted
Nice.
everybody to have the
Sehr gut.
same exact experience.
Zum Glück
which
keine Add-ons,
also
Leute.
made it challenging to make the event as well, because we need to make everything super obvious. When you're casting spells or you're attacking enemies, those things, you know, we won't have any assistance from any other add-ons, so we may need to make the game really streamlined and approachable in that way.
We've really spent extra time iterating on the UI and the UX, the
Mhm.
visual effects in game to make sure everything is as clear as possible.
ja, da ist nämlich das Ding
Plunderstorm a
mit der
regional
UI.
event?
You know, we're really looking forward to
Warte
seeing
mal.
what players think of this event. It's a brand new thing for us. It's super unique and cool and different. And depending on player feedback, we will see what the future of
Was hat sie gerade gesagt? Wird Plunderstorm öfter stattfinden? Bedeutet das, dass es ein temporäres Event? Also wird es das gar nicht durchgehend geben?
Event?
You know, we're really looking forward to seeing what players think of this event. It's a brand new thing for us. It's super unique and cool and different. And depending on player feedback, we will see what the future of Plunderstorm looks like. We would love to bring it back in some form. If you like Plunderstorm, you know, please get on the forums, please get on social media. Let us know what you think. Let us know what you would like to see in
Wir gucken gleich noch einen Trailer an, aber ich muss gerne mal was sagen.
Importantly, now that we've got all this great backbone tech set up for creating these sort of in-game events, we can definitely look forward to making more in the future. So let us know what you think.
Feedback is super important for us. It's actually something that we take very seriously, not only externally, but also internally. And we want to make sure this is a fun experience. So, just like Jeremy said, get on the forums, get on social media. Let us
Geht
know
nicht
what
ins
you
Forum, Leute.
I
Das ist
am
nur
so
toxic.
excited to play Plunderstorm, and I'm sure all of you are as well.
Ich bin auf jeden Fall excited. Ich gucke mir noch einen Trailer an. Was ich aber sagen muss... Ach, Leute, es ist laut. Was ich einmal sagen muss, zu dem Ding mit dem Abo, dass man ein Abo braucht. Also Thunderstorm ist wohl, oder Plunderstorm, ist wohl kein voller Modus. Das ist zeitlich begrenzt. Ja. Aber was ich mir gedacht habe, mit der UI, die drinne war, und dem Gameplay, dieses Ding, ja, könnte man auf Konsole bringen. Blizzard hat gerade mit Microsoft fusioniert, oder wurde gekauft. Was ist, wenn dieser Plunderstorm-Modus auf Konsole rauskommt? Vielleicht mit einem Game Pass oder Microsoft Game Pass. Was ist, wenn das deren erster Schritt ist, das Ding auf Konsole zu bringen? Also WoW vielleicht. Weil es würde perfekt passen. Und es gibt keine guten Battle Royale auf Konsole. Piraten. Magie. Bei Magie einen Ork zu zeigen ist falsch. Wer hat schon eine Konsole? Der Großteil der Gamer, vor allem in Amerika. Ne? Das wird ein eigenes Game, ein eigener Game-Modus, der aber nur begrenzt ist. Ja. Aber was, wenn es auf Konsole kommt, Leute? Wir werden sehen. Ich weiß nicht, wann es rauskommt. Ich habe keine Ahnung. 20. März. Das ist doch morgen. Warte mal. Das ist morgen. Okay, morgen machen wir 20 Stunden Plunderstorm-Stream, Leute. Morgen früh fangen wir an. Nach dem Reset. Sobald es online ist, gehen wir rein. Okay, wildes Ding. Aber woran es mich erinnert hat. Ja, schaut mal rein. Das erinnert mich an Battle Ride Royale. Kleinen Moment. Battle Ride Royale war ein Game, was auch ein Battle Royale war, ähnlich mit diesen Fähigkeiten sammeln und so weiter. Das ist der 10.2 Patch, der seit Ewigkeiten gehypt wurde, okay. Also es hat mich ein bisschen an Battle Ride Royale erinnert. Das ist aber die Arena, ne? Ah, das ist jetzt die Arena. Auf jeden Fall in dieses Game. Kennen vielleicht einige. Aber schreibt mal gerne in die Kommentare, was ihr denkt über das Game. Ich werde es auf jeden Fall morgen ziemlich gut reinspielen, wenn es wirklich rauskommen sollte. Und dann gucken wir. Ich habe auf jeden Fall Bock. Ne? Alles, was neu kommt von Blizzard, ich gucke auf jeden Fall mal rein. Und dann sehen wir. Ne? GG. Cooles Ding auf jeden Fall. Bin gespannt, was dabei rumkommt.